Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Vegan Spirituality online gathering. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Lisa Levinson, and I am the campaigns director for In Defense of Animals. And I also started Vegan Spirituality many moons ago and co-founded the Interfaith Vegan Coalition. Our vegan spirituality community was started to explore veganism as a spiritual practice. And we do this through these online gatherings and also through in-person gatherings around the country. You can find them in places like Los Angeles, New York, also in Philadelphia and Phoenix. So you can check that out by going to veganspirituality.com, or you can find us as the vegan spirituality community on Facebook. So we hope to interact with you more there. And today we are very excited to introduce you to our featured guest, which I will let my co-host do in just a moment. First, we'd like to let everybody know there is a very special program happening that Dr. Will Tuttle, who was our previous guest on our online gathering, is hosting, and it is the connection between yoga, spirituality, and veganism. And this special event will be happening sometime in September, and we will be posting a link more about that in the chat box today. So we hope that you can tune in for that. Now we get to introduce our special guest. And first, I'd like to introduce our co-host, which is Judy Carmen. She is the author of Peace to All Beings and of Homo Ahimsa, and she will be introducing our special guest today. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Lisa. Hey, I do have the date of the panel that Will Tuttle is doing, and that's September 21st. But hopefully, I think we have someone here, Shakara maybe, who might be able to put a link in the chat. So keep an eye on the chat. And right now, I am thrilled to introduce someone that I recently found out about. Her name is Charity Kahn. She is a musician. I mean, she's an amazing, amazing person. She's doing so much. Musician, songwriter, teacher, recording artist, and certified meditation and qigong instructor based in San Francisco Bay Area. She's released 8 albums of award-winning music and for children and families with her band, Charity and the JAMband. 2 albums for grown-ups with her band, The Invisible Bee, and a collection of guided meditations for kids. Her latest album for children, released on Earth Day 2024, is called The Vegan Album, and I cannot wait to listen to every single song on that. It contains a collection of 14 songs about animal liberation, plant-based eating, kindness, compassion, and earth care, something we've all needed for a long time, especially for the kids in our lives. She's the founder of JAM, which is an acronym for joy and music. How perfect is that? And has brought music, movement, and mindfulness to thousands of families around the San Francisco Bay Area and beyond through her beloved classes, camps, and family concerts since 2001, so long time. Charity has also created songs and videos to support animal and earth activist movements, such as the Plant-Based Treaty, which I think a lot of you are familiar with. Also Save the Tule Elks of Point Reyes, which is an ongoing protest to try to save those elks from the dairy farmers, and a lot of them need water, and also various sanctuary farms. Charity combines mindfulness and a passion for social, animal, and climate justice in her offerings, including her popular 15-day vegan challenge and celebration, which we'll hear more about. She's been a meditator and a student of the Dharma since 2006, studying with teachers such as Thich Nhat Hanh, who himself was vegan and had wonderful things to say about non-harm, non-killing. Also, other teachers of hers, Thanisara, I'm not sure if I said that right, Gil Fronsdal, Kyra Jewel Lingo, Susie Harrington, and Tara Brock. With kindness, compassion, peace, love, and joy as her guiding lights, her intention is to create music and offerings that support people in waking up together during these rare and precious times. So I'm so excited. I know if you all didn't know Charity before and heard what I just said, you're anxious to hear what she has to say. So I want to hear you, Charity. Tell us, let's start out about your vegan journey. Let's start out with that.
Thanks, Judy. It's so great to be here in community with like-hearted and like-minded folks and have a chance to, address all these really important topics. Yeah, vegan journey. I know we all have a story and they're all fascinating and wonderful. And mine, I feel like has been sort of one step on the path of just generally waking up and, trying to do the work, whatever that takes to remove the veils and see the truth and just kind of realize what's actually going on out there in the world. And I, I I feel like the final, tip over into veganism for me was 12 years ago. So I was kind of inching up to it for a while and had started my, meditation practice and had gone through a whole bunch of other life changes that put me on a path to sort of seeking this kind of truth and waking up. And actually, it was Will Tuttle's book, The World Peace Diet, that sort of tipped me over the edge when I started to understand the plight of mother cows and mother animals and baby animals. Because at that point, I had a couple young children and was vegetarian, and that particular truth just landed like a thud at a moment when I was reading that book of like, wait a minute, there's no halfway here. This has got to be all the way, all the time. And in fact, these mother animals are probably the ones that are suffering the most in the animal agriculture industry. So yeah, it's hard to my vegan journey is totally entwined with my general journey of waking up and supported by meditation and my music and the search for joy and celebration and community, and also my desire to just offer something to the world in return for all the amazing beauty the earth gives us. So I've kind of gone from the wake up, the angry vegan phase, the frustrated, angry, oh my God, how come everyone doesn't see this? And kind of moving through that with the help of practice and vegan friends and coming into a place of, that's why I call my class that I offer a challenge plus celebration. Because to me, this is just, I can't believe we even get to wake up to this and we get to have this experience of starting to shift our habits in a way that's going to help animals, the earth, and our own bodies, as we know. So to me, that's a huge celebration, and that's the energy that that drives me now.
That is so beautiful, Charity. So you have this relationship with the Dharma that you've been studying for a long time, and a lot of us are aware that, especially Thich Nhat Hanh is vegan or was, and a lot of his ashrams, he asked them to be vegan. I know they're still working on that in some places, but he made it so clear. So are your other teachers also vegan, or have you run into that? Because I know that can be an issue, and but but the other question is your study of mindfulness and all of that helping with your vegan journey, and how do they intertwine?
Yeah, great questions. No, not all of the teachers that I've learned from and been grateful for over time are vegan or even vegetarian. And that's been a source of real, actual cognitive dissonance and heartbreak for me, because to me, it's just, like with the way Thich Nhat Hanh teaches, it's like, well, this is obvious.
Yeah.
The Buddhist precepts, each one, you can go through the precepts one by one and say, explain how that is basically saying be vegan, be vegan, be vegan.
Right.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, I've actually done a lot of activism within the Buddhist community, writing letters to Spirit Rock and, different types of attempting to just reveal what I feel is truth, and in a straightforward and, strong but kind way, and say, why not? What's the roadblock here? It seems pretty clear from the Dharma. Like, it's not about what I'm saying, it's about what the Dharma says. So, there are a couple teachers who are, and but even then there's like this reticence to really broadcast that they're vegan. And to me, that's another heartbreak, is, oh, you have a huge platform. It'd be so amazing if you just sort of went for it. I wish that were a thing, but I hold out hope. Um, and then the second part of your question about, like, does the mindfulness how does it support the vegan path? And yeah, I mean, I don't, probably will never finish it, but I have an outline for a book of, like, these are the ways in which the teachings of the Dharma are directly supportive of this lifestyle. And especially things like, the Eightfold Path, which is sort of an instruction for how to move through life with the basic, deepest truths at the core of, there is suffering, and how can we bring compassion to alleviate suffering. Also the teachings of not self, and which also translates as interbeing. How can I harm an animal if the animal is me? So I see them as deeply intertwined, and it's been really actually fun as my music has evolved to get to incorporate elements of both, like my vegan passion and my Dharma passion, in the music, without making it necessarily be about, it's not about Buddhism, it's just, these are teachings on kindness and compassion and generosity and community and interbeing. And most of my music, not all, but most of my music is for children. And I mean, they kind of know this stuff. Like, their heart, as we know, we're all born vegan, as people like to say. Um, there's that compassion and kindness that is there innately. So, yeah, I feel like they intertwine, they support each other, and it's kind of comes out in my art.
And it is the golden rule. It's a universal, seems to be a universal ideal among human beings. And but yet it's seems so far away for even Buddhists, which is so surprising. And I think we saw some of that in the movie Christspiracy, where they interviewed some Buddhist monks that just weren't there
Mhm.
yet. And in spite of, like you're saying, the Dharma teachings, it's so clear. How do we end suffering for ourselves and others if we keep killing animals? So yeah. Well, I'm thinking, I know, I'll bet everybody is anxious to see one of your videos. Could we see the old McDonald one? That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and just to say, you know, after the discussion we just had, nobody's perfect, and we're all working on something. And one of the beautiful side effects of confronting that cognitive dissonance in various communities is, it's just yet one more place to practice compassion and say,
Wow.
they're not
Yeah.
seeing it for some reason. I'm sure there's things I'm not seeing. And that all we can do is live this way, model it, teach
Mhm.
it, and live it, just embody it. So, and then practice the love and compassion for the suffering that creates a situation where people can't see it.
Yeah, I love how you worded that. And I think music is such a wonderful way to open people's hearts where you're not preaching to them, but
Yeah.
the music and the especially in your music, the lightheartedness of it it's just bound to I mean, it makes us want to show it to everybody and just assume, yes, of course, this is going to change their minds. But it may not right then, but it's gonna move them somewhat because music moves people. I mean, it gets to the heart.
Yeah, it's in that liminal space. And the video that you're talking about, which I'll show here, is occasionally I write 99% of my own music, but occasionally I'll take an old children's song, like a classic nursery rhyme or something. I'll kind of rework it to message something that I want to message. And so this song that you're going to hear now, it's actually not on the vegan album. That's my newest album. It's on the album that came right before that called Creatures and Critters, which was just all about animals. And I just decided to rewrite Old McDonald Had a Farm and make it be about a sanctuary farm. So the video for that was filmed by Tony Segal of Silver Reaction Media. He's also done a lot of work for the Thule Elk and Sanctuary Farms and various other vegan projects. He's an awesome guy and an awesome documentary filmmaker. And he made the video. We went up to Charlie's Acres, which is a farm here in Northern California, to do a bunch of the footage. And then it's footage from other California sanctuary farms as well. So we'll be playing it from YouTube. So I hope it's not too slow or jerky, but you'll get the idea. And let me make sure I can get it up here. And let's give it a shot.
McDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm lived her animal friends, E-I-E-I-O. Oh, she saved one here, she rescued one there, protected and took care of them, made a safe haven. Old McDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a cow, E-I-E-I-O, with a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old McDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a pig, E-I-E-I-O, with an oink oink here and an oink oink there, here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink oink. Old McDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a goat, E-I-E-I-O, with a man here and a man there, here a man, there a man, everywhere a man. Old McDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a chicken, E-I-E-I-O, with a cluck cluck here and a cluck cluck there, here a cluck, there a cluck, everywhere a cluck cluck. Old McDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a sheep, E-I-E-I-O, with a bed here and a bed there, here a bed, there a bed, everywhere a bed. Old McDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a turkey, E-I-E-I-O, with a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there, here a gobble, there a gobble, everywhere a gobble gobble. Old McDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old Mac's farm is a magical place where the animals have plenty of air, light, and space. They are healthy and happy and safe and warm, and no one's gonna eat them or cause them any harm. They're free to love each other and run and play just like people wanna. We're really the same. Hey, maybe all farms could be this way. Maybe all farms could be sanctuary farms someday. There's a happy duck going quack, quack, quack. There's a happy dog going bow, wow, wow. There's a happy horse going neigh. There's a happy cat going meow. There's a happy donkey going ee-haw, ee-haw. There's a happy rabbit going nibble, nibble, nibble. There's a happy rabbit going nibble, nibble, nibble. With a nibble, nibble here and a nibble, nibble there. Here a nibble, there a nibble, everywhere. Nibble, nibble, hee-haw here and a hee-haw there. Here a hee, there a haw, everywhere. Hee-haw, meow here and a neigh there. A bow wow here and a quack, quack there. And a gobble, gobble here and a baa there. And a cluck, cluck here and a meh there. And an oink, oink here and a moo, moo there. Here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo, moo. Old McDonald had a sanctuary farm. E-I-E-I-O.
Wow, Charity. So awesome. I know everyone here would want to share that video. What is the best way they could do that?
I'm just realizing, are you still hearing a weird sound? Oh gosh, that's the pig, I think. Hang on.
Oh,
I must have turned it off before the pig was done.
oh.
Okay, are we good
I
with
don't know.
sound?
It sounds good to me.
Okay. Yeah, so you can find that video. Thanks for all the love hearts and the love hearts that you're putting in it. Oh my God, are those animals amazing? Right?
Yes.
That's who we're
Uh,
loving.
yes,
Yeah, so you can
footage was
find the
great.
video just by searching Old McDonald Had a Sanctuary Farm on YouTube. Also my band, Charity and the JAMband. My website, JAMjam.com, has the video. I can put all that stuff up at the end of the session. But yeah, if you just search Old McDonald Had a Sanctuary Farm on YouTube, it should come up.
Great. Okay. Yeah. And I encourage everybody to share it to everybody you know. It's just so uplifting. And people, I mean, look at all the funny animal videos there are online, right? And so we know people will watch it if you send it to them. So because people love to watch animals. So the message is right there. It's just so perfect. I'm just really overwhelmed with your talent, Charity, and putting your talent to use in this way for the animals. And I just wanted to ask, because you've got to have a lot of requests for performances and all that. How are you managing your time? Because I can just imagine a lot of people would want you flying all over the country or world to do your performances.
Bring it on, Judy. I mean, that hasn't happened yet, where people are asking me to fly all over the country, which in a way is a relief, because then I'd be using all those fossil fuels and I'd have to decide what to do about that.
Well, true.
Yeah. But, it's interesting. So this is interesting. I mean, I've definitely been doing this for, over 20 years in the Bay Area now. And there, I have quite a following here locally. I sometimes think I'm a little too edgy for the mainstream. I sing about stuff like this. And before I was singing about vegan stuff, I was singing about social justice. And, I feel like kids are smart and kids are ready to have big conversations. And I'm not your sort of necessarily mainstream, like, it's all sort of twee and, it's rock and roll. I'm a strong woman, like, figure. So I don't know. But I'm very busy all the time. Yes. And partly as a self-employed person, you people who are out there who are self-employed know you have like your tentacles in every, you put it out in every direction. So that's why I do so many different kinds of things. But, my deepest heart is in the songwriting and the music creation, and then the being with people. So that's what I do most.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just wonderful. So, but let's see, you've got a new album, the vegan album, and you have another album too. So how can we get those?
Yeah, so all of my music, I have 8 children's albums and a variety of singles. I have 2 grown-up albums, um, with my band, The Invisible Bee. So I mean, I have CDs, but everybody streams now. So if you want to find the music, just search on the artist names on your favorite streaming service. So Charity and the JAMband for the kids stuff, the family stuff, which really is, I don't even call it kids music, I call it people music, because
Mhm.
I try to both musically and lyrically, I really am talking up to kids. I don't think things need to be
Right.
dumbed down. And so, your inner child might really like it as well. And I would say
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I would say the last 3 albums, the Vegan album, Creatures and Critters, and The Earth are focused on earth care, animals, all of those kinds of themes. And then before that, the album before that, I actually called it Family Values because I wanted to reframe that word family values to be about what would I want? What do I want in my family? Mindfulness, generosity, compassion, gratitude, all these beautiful values that we are all aware of in our spiritual journey. And so, like I said, I put interesting, maybe more edgy concepts out there. But yeah, it's all available here. I'll show you. I'll just share my screen to show you, for example, if you use, for example, Spotify, you'll go to Spotify and you'd find my vegan album. If you just search for the vegan album, believe it or not, there's only, as of now, one album called the vegan album out,
Wow.
which I guess somebody needed to do it, so I did it. So here's all the songs on the vegan album, for example. We've got 14 songs about all different aspects. In a way, this was my PhD thesis. How do I take this topic and craft a record for young people that speaks to this issue and speaks to their desire to know the truth and their concerns about climate change and about kindness? And how do I write songs that get at it from all these different angles and then record them and make it beautiful? So this was quite this was very, very important to me, this project, very intentional project. If you go to the artist's name, you'll see all the albums here. Party Like a
Okay.
Twinkle Star, Family Values, I have a lot. So people can have hours of music at their disposal for that. And The Invisible Bee is also on all the streaming services. So that's a way people can find the music if you want to find the grown-up music.
Great. And then you have kids camps. Was that a picture of some kids at your camp that showed?
What was that picture? That was a picture at a concert. A second.
They look like they were having fun.
Yeah, that's at one of our concerts. They are definitely having fun.
Wow.
And I have, if you go to my website, JAMband.com as well, you can go to the gallery and see some of the really fun events that we've done in the past.
Oh, great.
Families. And I haven't run summer camps since COVID, actually, but I used to do summer camps and day long camps on school holidays. Music, movement, mindfulness, plant-based food, deep conversations about kindness and compassion. These were kids ages 5 to 10. And
Wow.
then I work in a lot of preschools where I jam hard with those 2, 3, and 4-year-olds. And we really have a good time. And we sing about joy and we sing about kindness and we sing about checking in with each other and we sing about animals and we have little mini Dharma talks and we ring the bell and we listen. And yeah, so I love my work. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very obvious. Yep. Your heart is definitely in it all the way. I want to be sure and ask you about the 15-day vegan challenge and celebration. You said a little bit about it, but how do we
So
sign up for that? What is that all about?
yes. So what I mentioned earlier that I kind of went through this process as a vegan where I kind of figured out how to channel my passion so that it wasn't coming out only in, you know, anger or cynicism or nihilism or depression. And one of the ways that I've hit on that's been so personally rewarding for me, and based on the feedback I get from the people who join the course, it's rewarding for them as well. And it's a 15-day exploration of plant-based living. So it's a course. And I originally just called it a challenge, but then I added the celebration in the title because to me that's what it is. But it's not so much like, oh, you go vegan for 15 days necessarily. It's really that we touch on all the different aspects of this really complicated and nuanced topic, which it's, as we know, it's everything from, it's our food, right? So it's everything from family relationships, cultural conditioning and habits, our deep-seated fears of actually looking at the harm that we're causing when we choose to not eat, or when we choose to, you know, indulge in animal agriculture. So like looking at, and then just the how to, like, how do you do it? What do you need in your kitchen? What are some recipes? What are some shortcuts? So I'm kind of trying to provide this like toolkit and an inquiry. So it's practical, but it's also very deeply spiritual because I want to create a safe container where people don't feel judged and where they feel enabled and inspired to try anything, even if it's just like they make one tiny shift. And that's new for me because I used to want it to just do it, just go all the way, come on. And I I've come to this place personally where I trust that people are on a path, and it's, for whatever reason, it's too much to just like turn over that leaf in one day. And I just want to be one of those many, many little inputs that they're getting that might stack up and lead to a shift. And I have gotten, you know, some people have gone vegan from the course, and then some people have written me a couple years later and say that was the beginning of my journey. Now I'm mostly vegan, or, you know, various things like that. So it looks like somebody might have put the link in the chat. So I appreciate that. It's registrations through Eventbrite, and it involves 3 Zoom meetings. And then every day I send out an email that's just chock full of an inquiry question for journaling and inspirational quotes, some data, and then like a topic, like let's talk about beans today, or let's talk about egg replacements, or, you know, whatever it is, and then recipes. And we have a WhatsApp group that we chat on during the time. And it's really about the community supporting each other through this process too. So I'd love it if you would share, everyone would share this with your people, your friends who are maybe considering it, but don't know where to start. Because
Yeah, it sounds like a great place to start. And yes, someone did put it into the chat, Charity's Vegan Challenge.
awesome.
Is that right? CharityKahn.com vegan/vegan journey,
Yep.
vegan-journey. Okay, very
So-
good. All right. So, boy, I mean, you are doing so much and so much wonderful good. I just feel like the animals are like so happy right now that we're talking to you. But I'm thinking maybe there might be some questions, and Lisa is so good at opening up for Q&A. Are you there, Lisa? There she is. Here she comes.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. And I want to just say that, wow, what an incredible opportunity to get a taste of what you do, Charity. I love the videos and really being able to hear the music and see the spunky aliveness of what you do, and your website and all the other programs too for kids of all ages. So thank you. I really appreciate the quality of your music as well. It's something that is really opens your heart, and I think because of that, it's very pleasing to listen to.
Well, a lot of it's made right in this room, so we're getting the vibe, the studio
Yeah,
vibes.
studio vibes sounds great. Well, let's see if we have any different questions. We do have some folks who are talking about the Veg Fest and some other things going on. I'm wondering, with your music, so were you trained musically in sort of a professional style and then decided to go this route?
Yeah, so my parents were piano teachers and musicians and choir directors and singers, and they did everything in our small town that was musical. And so I was brought up in that milieu, and I've always loved it. It wasn't a problem that I was in this family. It was a good thing. So I was, always playing the piano and singing and dancing. And I actually declared music when I first got to college, but then I went on a little detour. I thought, oh, I should try to make a living. I'd had a lot of programming that said, don't be an artist. And I went into engineering and computer science and math. I actually got my degree in math and taught math for a while and did software engineering for a while. And it was actually, and along the way, I was writing music and playing in bands and stuff, but never really thought I'd do much with it. But then when I had my kids, I couldn't stop writing music. And they cracked my heart open, really is what it was, and brought the joy to come alongside what before had been a more sort of, sad folk song type, which, and it's like all of a sudden, boom, this explosion of music came out. And so that's why I've been mostly doing children's music since 2001. I have some more grown-up music in me, though. It'll come. But yeah, I had a lot of training and a lot of just innate. My dad was my piano teacher, so I feel lucky about that. And my partner, my life partner and creative partner, Darren Roven, who is my recording engineer and co-producer. He also has he's a classical guitarist and rock guitarist and has a lot of musical training as well. And I do feel like we put that effort, we bring that kind of education, that talent, that 10,000 hours into the creation of the music. And we try to make it sound really good. We have our band is made up of our bass driller and our drummer are incredible. So yeah, I really do encourage people to listen to the music for the music's sake too. And I would love it if everybody would listen, follow us on Spotify or Apple Music, share the album. I mean, this is vegan music. Like, let's get it out there. And I'm saying that not as like, oh, please support my brand. And, I hope to make 0.0007 more cents off of my streaming. It's like, let's get this out here. It's the message. It's joyful. And anything you can do to help support a vegan artist, whether it's me or a vegan painter or a vegan musician, like it really helps, because it's, especially with AI now and all this, it's a challenging world to be an artist in. So I do appreciate people listening, and that'd be great.
Wow, thank you for sharing a little bit about your musical background too. That's great to have all this talent in the vegan movement. It's exciting.
Well, I'll say, yeah, anytime we find someone who can sing or play an instrument, it's just a big celebration, because we all know how valuable that is, how it does open hearts, just like humor does. Humor does it as well, but music is the way, I think, to really reach a lot of people. And so, yeah, let's share these as much as we can. And I'm so glad that I think I first saw your old McDonald one on Silas Rouse thing, maybe? Is
Yeah,
that?
I think so too. Yep.
Part of
And
the vegan
I just
convergence.
went, oh my gosh, how did I miss her? How did I not know about you? And so, yeah, I just was like in tears watching that. It was so wonderful. And I watched the Point Reyes one. I encourage everyone to watch that as well. I watched that and it was amazing. That's a real good example of how it could be used in an actual protest, or to get people to get motivated. I mean, it was so well done. So I really encourage everybody to check that one out. It's kind of sad, so I don't know if we want to watch it now, but after we're all so, pumped up at this point.
And that one's called the Thule Elk Song, Tule
Yes.
Elk Song, if people want to look that up on YouTube as well. And
Mhm.
yeah, it shows, what's happening in Point Reyes, and it's
Right.
hard.
I know
It's-
Lisa's been there.
Yeah.
And you have too, obviously. So
Mhm.
yeah, and Point Reyes was so beautiful, and so yeah.
In Defense of
So
Animals has a campaign. This is one of our main campaigns, is the Thule Elk.
it
So
is.
thank
Yeah.
you so much for your song. We do have a couple of questions here too. One of them is, most of the religions are based on mercy, but sadly, many of the religious texts allow for slaughter or the use of animal secretions, and a couple of them are referenced. How do we overcome the scriptural mandate of animal practice?
I mean, for me, I just don't use any scripture as my dogma personally. I can only speak for myself. In order to, I think maybe the person's asking, like, how do we overcome that as a society when so many people are reading that and using that as the validation or excuse or rationalization for behavior? So it's a great question. And I think, again, all we can do is keep talking about it, making art, modeling, making great vegan food for our friends, sharing movies like Christspiracy, and being always like present for that possible moment where somebody has an opening, right? Somebody who's maybe absorbed that dogma, that scriptural dogma, but there's like a little crack in the door where the light, boom, and then we're there, and we can be that kind offering of, oh, here's an alternative, and maybe that can shift it. Yeah.
Great suggestion. Love that.
Yeah. Find out where they are at, because if you start pounding on them and you don't know where they're at, where they're on their journey, because we're all on the journey towards kindness, ahimsa, non-harm. We're all on that journey, but we have to kind of find out where that person is on that journey so that they can understand our words, and that means listening. A lot of listening sometimes, but also with your songs, it's something that's so helpful. It's such a wonderful tool, because we can send these songs to people who may have a crack like you're talking about, and we're not threatening them, by standing in front of them. We're sending them this beautiful song, and it's a gift. And yeah, I mean, it could have a huge impact, and we may never know what kind of impact it has. So the music you've done is just an incredible tool that we've needed for a long time. So yeah, so I think in answer to their question, if it's somebody and you just can't move them in your discussion with them, if it's in person, go home and send them Old McDonald at a sanctuary farm and just say, I thought you might like this.
A great idea. And about that video, there was a question as well. What is the name of that sanctuary and where is it located?
The main sanctuary where the footage of the animals and the instruments and me in the fields is Charlie's Acres. And it's just north of it's like the North Bay, San Francisco North Bay. They do tours. It's a wonderful sanctuary, Charlie's Acres. But there's also footage from quite a few other sanctuaries in the video. And if you go to the end of the video, we have listed all the sanctuaries that are there. And I think it's in the description as well. But the main one where the instruments and all the interaction with the animals is happening is Charlie's Acres.
Great, thank you. And then another question. I'm wondering if you have ever thought of doing a Christmas album. And this is because, as a lot of activists know, many animals lose their lives, for or in honor of Christmas. Just wondering if that is something you've thought of, or maybe would be interested in maybe a holiday album. Doesn't necessarily have to be a
Yeah.
Christmas per se.
Yeah, fascinating. I've thought about it, and I just, at least right now, it's not clear to me how that would, what the songs would be, or what, how that would manifest. I have a song called The Light that was my holiday song, and it's a song about peace and coming together in community. And it's not a vegan song, but it's a song about love and peace, and how we're all the same deep inside. And at the holidays, a lot of traditions have a similar root, which involves light. And, it's kind of, I have a little story from childhood in there. And so if anyone wants to go listen to that song, but I like this idea of, I've thought about doing something around Thanksgiving too, the sort of anti-turkey dinner song. So thank you for planting a seed, and I'll water it, and we'll see what grows.
There is kind of a fun song that is a long one that's often played about, it's kind of a long saga kind of a song around Thanksgiving. It might be interesting to do something, but change the saga, change the story about, maybe an animal who escapes from a slaughter situation, and then they find their way in all these other more fun and lively situations.
I love that. Maybe you can send me that song later, Lisa. I'll
Yes.
take it. Yeah.
Have you read the 'Twas the Night? I think it's called the 'Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving, where the little kids rescue all the turkeys from the turkey farm. It's so precious.
Maybe I can just write that into a song.
Yeah, you could turn it into a song. Is that what it's called? 'Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving? Does anybody remember? It's a children's book for sure, and they are on a tour of the turkey farm, and they find out what the farmer's going to do, and so they all put the turkeys under their shirts, and they get on the bus and go home with the turkeys. It's so adorable. And then at the end, it shows through the windows of the, homes of the kids, the turkey sitting at the table with everybody. It's just
Adorable. Well,
Yeah.
we'll try to find some of these links to share with everyone. And what we do is afterwards, we do send a replay of this interview with everything that is connected to it. And we'll put in some resources for Charity, for her music, and also any of these types of links. There's another question here, which I think is an interesting one. Are most of the children in your camps already vegan?
What do you think? No, very rarely. And I see it as an opportunity to just say I'm offering a fully plant-based, menu, and I make it really good and delicious. And I do a lot of things with, a rainbow and the garden, and just, a lot of discussion that doesn't get too, and again, I have not offered the camp since before COVID. So you're making me think, I wonder, 5 more years into my vegan journey, how would I maybe be shifting that now, especially because I have the record out. So I think in general, maybe we could broaden the question. Are the kids I work with, whether it's my camps, schools, anywhere, vegan? No, like the same percentage of the population, right? And I try to walk this line where I'm educating, and I'm clarifying, and I'm speaking truth, and I'm modeling. And I also am very aware that food choices are not in the hands of children, typically. And I do not want to create a situation where I traumatize a child somehow by showing them something or telling them something that developmentally, they're not going to have any support for that when they go home to sort of like integrate that information. It's be very different in my own home with my own children, where it could be a whole process around it. So I have found, because my underlying principle is kindness and compassion, you know, for all beings. And so for the children, I want to protect them too from being exposed to something and then just being like, where do I take this? My parents are not on board. So I'm always walking this line, and it's very intuitive. I can't even explain how. It's like feeling the energy and like understanding, you know, or even at a concert, you know, when I'm up there with my band and I'm like kind of, you know, vamping or rapping in between songs, chatting with the audience, the things that I say, their stream of consciousness, like what is going to be the most helpful and non-harmful offering in this moment about this topic. That makes sense.
Beautiful. Well, you definitely are channeling that vegan gospel with compassion and love. I think
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Well, and your Dharma practice helps you with that, I'll bet.
100%. I couldn't do it
Staying
without that.
mindful and
I couldn't. There's
And-
no way. There's
yeah,
no way.
right.
Yeah.
So that's a really big part of what we're all doing as activists, is being mindful and learning mindfulness as you've done. Yeah, so important.
Continuing to learn mindfulness and
Yes,
continuing to see
ongoing.
where I cause harm and how to make amends and living amends. And, you know, I'm in recovery too. So that feeds into it. Like all of these threads weave in to create this, you know, the quilt of the work.
Mhm. Watching our thoughts. Yeah. Are they violent thoughts or are they peaceful thoughts? Yeah. So
Oh, Charity, what a delight to be here with you and to hear how you really bring in all of the resources together, whether it's the recovery resources, the mindfulness, or the music background that you have, to kind of create, in a way, your own unique platform of vegan advocacy through music and also through your vegan challenge. So thank you for these incredible gifts you've given the world, and also the ones you've given us tonight. We're wondering if you might close us out with either a song or an offering of some kind.
Yes. And I was thinking that I would actually play you something from the album, because we didn't have a chance to do that. So I guess and that would be my offering, is for people to just listen and be, you know, have the music wash over you, and kind of sit with your own practice around this, and like your own awesomeness to walk this path that we know is not always easy and can feel isolating and you know, overwhelming sometimes. And just my gratitude for everyone on this call for being vegan or being interested in this is so massive. Like I would hug you all if we were in the room together. So yeah, I just wanted to share. This is a song that most of the album goes from all different genres. So I really want people to listen to it and hear all the different musical ideas. But this one, it's the last song I wrote for the album, because I felt that there needed to be just almost like a prayer near the end that was just about kindness, the basics, not even about, you know, vegan kindness, but just this root kindness. So it's 2 minutes long. And so I think we'll just share that, and we can sit and be together and listen. I'm going to do it just so that it's the sound. And then it's called Kindness Matters. And here we go. I think I messed up the share, so thank you everyone for taking a mindful breath.
Eat 'em raw like other animals do.
Nope, here we go.
Kindness is an intention. It's not about perfection. It's the beauty in your heart, showing you the way to start moving in a kind direction. It doesn't have to be about wrong and right, or good and bad, don't need to make it a fight. We're doing our best, learning as we go to move the world in a kind direction. 'Cause just a little drop of kindness can make an ocean of difference. And a little bit of friendliness can change everything for a person, or a chicken, or a spider, or a forest, or a bee. 'Cause every tiny act of kindness really matters. And every molecule of peace really matters. It matters. So imagine a world where the kindness flows into every heart, and the loving grows a little stronger and brighter, and longer and wider. We can do it if we do it together. We can change the world forever. We can do it if we do it together. We can change the world forever. We can do it if we do it together. Kindness is the truest treasure.
Thank you so much, Charity. What an incredible gift to all of us, that kindness, and to bring us back to that. We are very grateful to you. There's some lovely comments here. Thank you for showing such emotional intelligence, Charity, for informing and making us curious, and also allowing children and parents to open their hearts to the path they can take. Also, I think what you do is spectacular and demonstrative of how we can use our gifts intentionally to change the world.
Yes, and I know everyone here has gifts, and let's do it. You know, find whatever they are, wherever they are. It's something I talk a lot about with people, is even if you didn't follow a path of being a musician or an artist, it doesn't matter. Whatever that creativity is, whatever that gift is, whatever gives you that like passion, that urge, that just desire to you know, be in the flow and offer something, like find it, and because you'll enjoy it too. It's joyful. So yeah, thanks everybody. This is just, I can't see you, but I feel you out there, and it's wonderful to connect.
It sure is. Thank you everyone for coming, and thank you, Charity. This has been such a blessing for all of us to meet you and hear your music and hear your words. So yeah, we just can't thank you enough.
Yes, and
All right,
thanks
so
to
over
everybody.
next.
Thanks to everybody for joining, and we hope that you have a lovely evening, and also that we see you next time. Next time, we're actually going to feature another musical guest next time. So if you like music, stay tuned. Thank you, everyone. Many blessings, vegan blessings to all.
Vegan blessings, everybody.
Take care. Take care. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody for all you do. Yeah.